exciting to have you here today. In fact, you know how I always say it's so exciting to be here. This is Coach Manny, and no, I'm not just getting in on the bandwagon here, as sometimes we think with this whole coronavirus thing going on. But what we're here today to talk about is you might have to move to a remote team. Are you ready? I know some of you out there are probably already working remotely, but what happens if you're not and you need to? The coronavirus may drive you there. You know, it's driving people in schools to do things remotely. It's driving people in business to do things remotely. So, what we wanted to do today with this piece is really show you some of the things that maybe you're not aware of, maybe you don't do yet, maybe you're not working your work players remotely yet. And so what we want to do is here's some things you can do to make that happen in your business. It seems technology might be a great resource to keeping you and your team working and perhaps safer during this time when so many people have this fear out there. Are you ready to move your team to working remotely? That's the question on the table. This can be done for your business. Now, or the real question is, can it be done for your business? You know, we can't do every business. Some things you're just going to have to be out there for. But some of you can move your business, and this is a great time. It's a great thing about this situation is that it makes us think, how can I better use technology in my business? And I can guarantee you that when you move this step forward, you may never go back to normal, but who knows what normal can be as we move forward anyway. This is Coach Manny. You know, our objective is to educate you and to continue to try to bring you the best information for your business, your life, and your career. And please, I ask you to sign up for our email process. We will not spam you. Don't worry about that. We simply try to send you some stuff just like we do education here to help bring you to the next level in your business, your life, and your career. So just go to CoachManny.com, sign up for our email list. There's a free book out there. Probably going to put some other stuff out there for you. It gives you some access to some other things. You know, we're on podcasts. You might be listening to this on a podcast. You might be watching it live. You may be watching it on YouTube. We try to be everywhere with the information you need so your business can rock. Because remember, that's what we're trying to do. You and your business are what is important. So let's go back to today's story. Businesses may never go back to normal, but we got to continue to do business, right? I mean, that's just part of life, and we can't let things stand in our way. We have to move forward. What can you do to move your business to a remote working environment? And today, I don't have all the answers. And some of it, depending on the size of your business, where you're at, can be a little more complex than what you might think. So what I want to do today is I just want to look at three important things that you should be looking at if you want to make this happen. There's so many more, absolutely. And this is by no means, you do these three things and you're set. No, but you do these three things and you're on your way. Because what we found is that these are three things that can really help you get there. So let's rock with this. Remember, check us out all over the place, CoachManny.com. And please, buy some of our books out there. You know, I'm always pushing the books. We are really moving more to print now. And we have decided that print Well, we haven't decided, but we found the stats say people still want that book, that physical book in their hand. And you can see behind me our three latest books there. They're all in printed copy out on Amazon. Just look up Manny Nowak. They're quick reads. They're 150 pages. You can bust through there in an hour or two, and you can apply what you learn. So whether you're trying to get more prospects, trying to generate leads, as we do here, whether you're trying to build your business, whether you're trying to learn how to sell, whether you're trying to learn how to manage your time, whether you're trying to learn how to be even better, we got it out there for you. So let's keep going. Today's lesson, remember, number one, we got to move your meetings to video conferencing. So, by not all being together in the same place any longer, we now need a method. How are we going to still have those meetings that we need to have? And I happen to use a tool called a tool. Sorry about that. I happen to use a tool called Zoom, but there's other tools out there as well. You don't have to use Zoom, but that just happens to be the tool we use. Now, we know how you all feel about meetings, right? And if not, you know how I feel about them anyway. Please check out that article up on our blog called Death by Meeting. And, if you don't know how I feel about meetings, but this process will eliminate many of the meetings that just aren't needed. So that's kind of the hidden plus, isn't it? All of a sudden I don't have to have some meetings that I knew weren't necessary, but so it will help eliminate some of them, but it will keep you on the path to holding those meetings that are necessary and making them more effective. I know it doesn't seem that way at times. It seems like, well, if I can't get in the same room with these people, what am I going to do? Zoom and these methods for online meeting are great tools to make that happen. Now, you can just have audio or audio and video. And one of the things we're going to do at the end of the meeting today, we're going to give you some additional tips. So please stay on the call or whatever you're listening to, or come back and listen later, whatever way you do it. You can run your process from any computer, and the great thing is you don't even need a computer, right? Because you can do tools like Zoom and most of these other tools from your smartphone. So think about it. All of a sudden, you can run your business in either one of those methods. If you use video, you can see the person, share documents. You can operate just like you're in a physical meeting. Once you get used to it, and it does take a little bit of time to get used to this process sometimes, but once you get used to it, you'll be amazed at what you can do. We use it all the time. I've been using it for client meetings, for education, for training, to do one-on-one chats. I'm telling you, this tool is amazing. And once you get used to that, you will be amazed. It's less travel. All right, so, nobody wants to travel today. Nobody really wants to get in an airplane at all, do they? It seems that way. It's less time because I just sit down. I'm already sitting down. I'm already working. It's less time. And it's less meetings, all which create greater productivity. So get started today. Keep your process working effectively by using online meetings. That's number one for us today. Let's start looking at those tools and get online with those meetings. Number two, the second thing you got to look at when you start working remotely is security. And I will not underestimate this. And I also will tell you, I'm not a security expert. In fact, I was working with some clients recently, and I learned that even more. You need to hire the right people from a security standpoint to help you. Make sure your teams have access to the data they need, but make sure that access is on a safe path. You see, many companies are leaving way too many doors out there open. And what I mean by that is they're just, people can get into their computers. You know, we used to just be worried about somebody putting a virus on, or we used to be worried about just somebody sending us an email with a bad link in it, right? Now, people can actually get into your computers, into your smartphones, and things like that. So you have to be a lot more careful. Make sure you check your security connection with someone who can verify, someone who can help you, someone who can protect you. Get the professional help and make sure you have the right tools and process in place. Remember, virus or not, hackers are alive and they're getting worse all the time. So one of the second key element to working remotely is, let's make sure the security is tight and it's good. Hey, I'm Coach Manny. I'm here. We're here every Friday to try to give you some great information, to try to educate you, whether you're watching this live. And welcome to all those people who are on live today. It's great to have you here. Whether you're listening to this on a podcast, whether you're watching us on YouTube, whether you're, I guess that's the only methods we have right now. So find out, and you can connect with us on coachmanny.com. We really encourage you to get on our email list, and we will not spam you. Okay, I will guarantee you that one. Number three, stop thinking productivity is going to fall. This is one of the things. Now, I'm going to tell you, productivity of people working off-site, I've listened to leaders and business owners and managers and all this gripe about this for over 20 years, yet we've been putting people off-site and we have raised productivity to a level that's unbelievable. The fact is that productivity in so many cases, by removing people remotely, actually goes up. I've been working with this, as I said, for over 20 years, back to when technology was nowhere near what it is today. With this technology, you can do amazing things. As I said, the video pieces, and I love this because I actually am able to have a meeting with you one-on-one through a video conference, and you can be anywhere in the world. I have these with people. We were building an international sales team for one of my clients, and we were interviewing people using this process. It's just amazing. People who have to commute less are more productive. It's just a fact of life. And those of us who, I can remember commuting 3 hours a day, hour and a half each way when traffic was bad. And we just did it. And we didn't have, all those podcasts and all that stuff that you have today, although we did have Zig Ziglar's education on cassette. So I do remember that. But the point is, if you have to commute less, you're going to be more productive. So there's one big plus already, right? People who work from home do not get involved with chit chat and what do they call water cooler and coffee pot chats and things like that, or people stopping by all day interrupting you for conversation. You don't have that when you're working remotely, and it's a positive. And you know how many times I've talked about, gotta stop all that chit chat. It's time. We're working and we're trying to be productive. So what? If I go down and I throw a load of wash in, so what if I take a few minutes and set up the crock pot and throw some things in there for dinner? It's a whole lot less time than people spend in the office in chit chat, and I'm still very productive. There is not a problem in working at home. And there's also not a problem in if I got to work late, right? If I got to work late into the office, I got to pick this person up. I got to do this. I got to go there. I got to go there. There's not a problem. I can work over it because I'm already home. And I don't have to think about, I'm going to be an hour late and then I got to drive home and I got to do this. So I'm just trying to emphasize to you the positiveness. You might have to move your teams remotely, but so what? The fact is that so many people can continue to check in and log in and do stuff all evening long. It's just part. When you're working at home, the computer's sitting somewhere, you don't just forget it. Let me check my email. Let me check this. And I'm telling you, productivity actually goes up, and that's a proven fact. You might find that you never go back to where you were, and that might be a blessing. You can move people and processes off-site, become more effective, and well, it's twofold. One, it costs you less because I don't have to set them up in the office. Number two, it's more effective, and they love it. Right? Now, everybody and everything doesn't fit that criteria. There are some things that you can't work remotely. There are some people who just, that's not for me. And I can understand that. But you know your people and you know your business. As I write this, more and more things are being canceled and closed. Time is critical. So if you can get ready, or if you need to start moving your people, and I know some of you are thinking, I got to move my people off-site next week. Can I make this happen? You can. But you have to spend all weekend putting it together. It's okay. I just wanted to share, we're going to share some tips with remote meetings. These actually came from an article that we did many years ago. And I looked through the article. I said, is this stuff still applicable? And, the strange thing was, it's all still applicable. So we'll share that in a minute. I just want to share, you can go to Zoom, ZOOM.us. Z as in zebra, OOM.us. And go out there and you can check out that tool. So we did want to share that link with you. And you can even use a free version for some. And even the cost is very, very workable. So please check out Zoom. So let me remind you, CoachManny.com. We're there to help you. One of the things I always try to do is I try to keep us on focus. I know I talk fast. I know we move fast. But I tell you, I don't want to listen to something slow. I want to keep moving. So let me share with you these 9 quick tips about remote meetings. And these are just things that, put together with what we shared with you already, are going to make you even more effective. Number 1, start becoming a better listener. And we will put these out when we put this out on the web page for the blog, we will put this out there for the podcast. And I think it's going to be out on the blog post as well. So let's see. Start becoming a better listener is part of what you got to do when you work remotely, because you got to listen to what's really being said. You got to hear the attitude, because sometimes you're only on audio and sometimes you can't see the person that's talking, or they might be blocked, or you can't adjust yourself so you can see them better. It just doesn't work. Pay attention to the speed that you speak at. Listen for impatience when someone is speaking. Number 2, you got to be a lot more prepared when you're dealing with a meeting that's remote, because you can't just be getting up and going here. It's be more prepared. Number 3, take good notes. And here's the thing I want to encourage you, don't have remote meetings while you're driving unless there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Try to use these from home. And if you've got to be traveling during part of the meeting, limit it. If possible, record the meeting. And the great thing about Zoom is we can record these meetings and you can actually come back and re-listen to it. Or if you missed the meeting because you were busy doing something else, you can actually see the meeting again. So that's the great thing. It's the great thing, and sometimes I'm not sure everybody thinks it's a great thing, because Everything you have is recorded. So um, ask more questions. And you're having a meeting. Let's ask the questions. Ask people to repeat stuff. Number 6, just so. And if you might have missed something, number 7, you repeat stuff. Sometimes it's easier when we're doing a remote meeting. I always like to. You can see even on these podcasts, a lot of times I'll double say something just because you're listening, and Zoom, you went by and it just went that way. And by the time you connect with me or you send me a little note saying, "Hey, Manny, can you do this?" I'm on to another subject. So please do that. Get more input from others. Make sure in the remote meeting, there's people who are not talking. Let's get them talking. I mean, it's important. And stick to and stay on the agenda and the times. One thing about remote meetings is you'd think that, well, it's remote, I'm sitting back here, we can meet as long as we want. It doesn't really work that way because you have to focus, you have to pay attention. So remote meetings tend to be a lot faster, and I always encourage people 30 minutes on a remote meeting. You know how we were talking about a few weeks ago on regular meetings, no more than an hour. Remote meetings, no more than half an hour. So that's today's talk. Those are the keys. Remember, those 3 things we talked about is if you want to move your people remotely, video conferencing is key. Security is, you just can't ignore it. And remember, you're probably going to get some productivity gains. So there is a good to all this. I'm not happy about the whole corona thing, the coronavirus thing that's going around, and I don't think anybody is. But I know a lot of you are small business owners. A lot of you are very busy executives out there, and you got to run your business. So how are we going to run it effectively and make sure our teams and players are all taken care of? Because that's the critical factor, isn't it? So this is Coach Manny. It's exciting. I hope you get on if you're not on our email list, please go to coachmanny.com, sign up, and let's put you on that list, and let's start showing you some good stuff. And as I said, no spam. Please check out our books on Amazon. Just go to Manny Nowak and just use that as a search term. It'll show you some great stuff out there. It's been my pleasure. I hope this has helped you. Listen to it again, go through it again, see what you can help, how we can help you, and as I always say, give us a call. CoachManny.com. One of the clicks there is schedule, or you can just go to CoachManny.com/schedule. Takes you right there. Let's talk for 15 minutes. See where that leads. This is a coach saying, have a great day. Be safe out there. And I'll talk to you soon.